Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta provides update on Bukayo Saka injury. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has provided an update on the injury to Bukayo Saka against Nottingham Forest. Saka was forced off during the first half of Arsenal's victory over Nottingham Forest. The England international attempted to continue playing but ultimately was unable to make it to half-time. Now, Arsenal manager Arteta has provided an update on Saka's injury, and he certainly wasn't happy with some of the tackles flying in on the young winger. On Saka's injury and whether the World Cup is now a doubt, Arteta replied, "Hopefully not. It was a bad kick right from the beginning. He was limping, but I don't see any further than that. Let's see how it's in the next couple of days." On where Saka suffered his injury, I think both leg and ankle, he got kicked a few times and he wasn't comfortable to continue. On whether referees need to give Saka more protection, he said, "That's for them." Reiss Nelson reveals what Mikel Arteta had him doing just before. Reiss Nelson was the hero of the hour as Arsenal hammered Nottingham Forest to go back top of the Premier League. Nelson was brought on to replace the injured Bukayo Saka. It was a surprise call from Mikel Arteta, who has barely used the 22-year-old since he arrived at Arsenal. However, Nelson repaid the faith. He scored it twice and set up another in a fine performance. And speaking about his entry into the game, Nelson revealed that Arteta had him up and down off the bench warming up before deciding to throw him on for Saka. "When I went to warm up, I was thinking, I am just going to warm up and then maybe come back down again. But he said, okay, maybe warm up for a bit longer. And I kept warming up and I came back down, warm it up again. So I kept going up like a yo-yo. And then he said, Reiss, you are coming on. I was just like, oh wow. But I knew it was one of those. It was my moment, so I had to seize it, you know? So I'm just happy and delighted that I could get on and just help the team," Nelson told Arsenal's official channels. It must have felt surreal for Nelson to get the call here. He's been out of the Premier League picture for so long, and his reaction here suggests he didn't think he'd see much game time yesterday. In the end, it all worked out well and Nelson delivered the goods for Arsenal. He speaks about it being a moment for him, and he certainly did his best to make it one. If Reiss Nelson can contribute like this for the rest of the season, then Arsenal will feel like they have a new signing. Darren Bent absolutely loves Thomas Partey, says he gives Arteta more control. Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey bagged himself a rare goal for the Gunners as they saw off Nottingham Forest, and Darren Bent thinks he is brilliant. Bent, who is a regular on talkSPORT and a self-confessed Arsenal fan, has been loving the performances from his Gunners side this season. Their effort against Forest had them back to their best, and they now sit back on top of the Premier League table. Of course, it was a team effort for Arsenal. Reiss Nelson got himself on the score sheet twice, while Gabriel Martinelli continued his own fine form this season. But for Bent, who took to Twitter to comment on the game afterwards, it's the presence of Thomas Partey that provides so much for Arteta's Arsenal. Bent tweet reads, "Thomas Partey is key to this Arsenal team. More control, more protection for the backline." Certainly, Partey has been vital for Arsenal ever since he signed. He's had his injury problems, but when he does play, it's hard to argue he doesn't justify his reported £200,000 a week wages. Along with Granit Xhaka in the middle of the park, Partey has become key for Arsenal. As Bent says, he offers the defense that extra protection that is so crucial. Partey has always had that in him, and we have seen over the last couple of seasons on more than one occasion how he can dominate a game when he is on form. Arsenal are looking likely winners this season. They are continuing to pick up results. However, you do feel that an injury to Partey could be hugely detrimental. Given the Ghana international's history, Arsenal fans will be worried that an injury comes along again. For now, though, Gunners fans will be enjoying seeing the midfielder playing and playing well. If he continues producing what he did, then Partey will be crucial in the second half of the season. BBC Pundit blown away by Gabriel Jesus work rate. BBC Pundit Glenn Murray was blown away by Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus' work rate against Nottingham Forest. The Gunners went straight back to the top of the Premier League table after a 5-star display at the Emirates. Gabriel Martinelli opened the scoring inside 5 minutes for Mikel Arteta's man with a brilliant header. Reiss Nelson replaced the injured Bukayo Saka before the break, and certainly impressed as he backed a quick-fire brace at the beginning of the second half. Outstanding goals from Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard rounded off an impressive win for the Gunners, and despite the fact that Jesus didn't manage to get on the score sheet, Murray was so impressed with the 25-year-old's work rate. Speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live, Murray highlighted Jesus' work of the ball right at the beginning of the game. Gabriel Jesus sets the tone of this Arsenal team in and out of possession, he said. He adds to the team through hard work, he does add goals when he gets the chance. That was the question when he joined from Manchester City. So far, he has lived up to that mantle. Jesus has been outstanding since making the switch to North London over the summer. He is proving to be the missing piece of the puzzle for Arteta's side. Even when he isn't scoring, the Brazilian didn't manage to add to his 5-goal tally in the Premier League, but did provide 2 assists. The former City man has revolutionized Arsenal's attack and really brought the best out of both Saka and Martinelli. Arteta will be delighted with his side's response after a disappointing result against PSV on Thursday. The Spaniard will be hoping the ankle injury Saka picked up in the first half isn't a serious one, but Nelson did come on and show that Arteta has some strong options available on the bench. Sky Pundit left amazed by William Saliba. Clinton Morrison was left amazed by Arsenal defender William Saliba during their win over Nottingham Forest on Sky Sports. Arsenal thrashed Steve Cooper's men 5-0 at the Emirates and went back above Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table. The North London club carried on threatening throughout the first half but couldn't find a second goal before the break. The Forest began to grow into the game just before the end of the first half, but Saliba produced a brilliant piece of defending that left Morrison amazed. Morgan Gibbs-White dispossessed Takehiro Tomiyasu, and Cooper's men found themselves in a promising position, but Morrison said Saliba completely snuffed out the danger as he took the ball away from Taiwo Awoniyi with ease. But wow, the defending there from Saliba is unbelievable, Morrison said on Score Sunday on Sky Sports. Awoniyi was on goal, kind of on the right-hand side. He just said, "Get off me," and brought the ball out. He is like a Rolls Royce. Saliba has been a revelation for Arsenal ever since returning from his loan spell at Marseille over the summer. The £27 million man has slotted in seamlessly in Arsenal's backline and has arguably been one of the best defenders in the league so far this season. Pundit now believes Arsenal have a player who is just like Kevin De Bruyne. BBC Pundit Glenn Murray believes that Arsenal midfielder Martin Odegaard is just like Kevin De Bruyne. Murray was covering Arsenal's Premier League match against Nottingham Forest on BBC 5 Live. Odegaard has been nearly ever present for Arsenal this season after being handed the captain's armband. The Norwegian international has been playing exceptionally for Arsenal this season and is one of the reasons they are currently competing at the top of the table. The attacking playmaker has been pivotal to Arsenal's attacking build-up and has been contributing goals too. He will be hoping to top his 11-goal contributions in his first full season at the Emirates and is already nearly halfway there. Odegaard will have plenty of time to recover and improve under Mikel Arteta as he won't be travelling to the World Cup. It's a big compliment from Murray to suggest Odegaard is like De Bruyne, and there are some similarities. They are both capable of unlocking a defense with a pinpoint pass and work very hard off the ball. Speaking on BBC 5 Live, Murray was very complimentary about Odegaard. He is not at this level yet, but I think in the future he could be, Murray said. He was thrust onto the world stage when he was signed for Real Madrid back in the day. He is played with some top people and obviously learned off a lot of them. Now we are really starting to see the best of him. One person he does remind me of is Kevin De Bruyne. The Norwegian believes he's became a better defensive player, something that's becoming more and more important for attackers in the modern game. Although Odegaard may be like De Bruyne, he still has some way to go before he reaches the same level as the Belgian. Arteta will certainly hope the 23-year-old can become a similar talisman at Arsenal as De Bruyne has at Manchester City. Both pretty much gives Arsenal a green light to make a January move for Tielemans. Boss Brendan Rodgers wants to keep Arsenal target Yuri Tielemans at Leicester long term, but accept the club must come first. Arsenal will look to delve into the transfer kitty during the January transfer window and add a few more players to the squad that will add depth to the side, and Tielemans is a player that the Gunners have been linked with. He was heavily tipped to leave Leicester but stayed, but with the Belgian not any closer to agreeing a new contract, Rodgers has opened it up and admitted that Leicester City come first in their decision over the midfielder. It's not something we are thinking of, and not anything the club has said we need to do. We don't want to be offloading our best players, that's for sure, Rodgers said. So there has been no hint or indication we need to generate money and move him on. But, of course, there is a business side to the club that they will look at. We had a number of long chats in the summer. There is clearly no doubt even a young guy who's focused like Yuri and very professional can have an impact, but he has been fully focused. He doesn't let that affect him. He is a top-class professional. He sees the game how I see it on the field. He understands what is happening within the game, and that's all he can do, give his very best, and his recent performances have been excellent. We have a number of players out of contracts come the end of the season. My focus has been on working with him and getting out of the situation we are in, so everything else is not really spoken about from my perspective. Going by these comments, Arsenal could get the midfielder in the January window for a real bargain. Arsenal and Newcastle enter race to sign a 23-year-old Chilean forward Ben Brereton Diaz. Arsenal and Newcastle are set to battle it out for the signature of a Blackburn Rovers striker Ben Diaz. As per Count Offside, the Chile international is attracting interest from a host of clubs across Europe. The versatile forward is out of contract in the summer of 2023, but John Dal Tomasson's side are reportedly keen to hold on Diaz past January and are prepared to take the risk of losing him for free. Apart from Arsenal and Newcastle, West Ham United, Sevilla and Nice are all set to be interested in the Blackburn Rovers attacker. Diaz came through the youth ranks at Manchester United before making his switch to Stoke City and then Nottingham Forest before moving to Blackburn. He has been at Ewood Park since 2019 and has established himself as a key player for the side over the years. Diaz caught the eye of several top clubs last season as he scored 22 goals and provided 3 assists in 39 games. The Chilean has been impressive this season as well, having scored 8 goals and provided an assist in 19 games so far. The Arsenal and the Newcastle United target is equally capable of playing either as a number 9 or as a left-sided wide forward. His versatility makes him an asset for any side, and at the age of just 23, he still has his best days ahead of him. Diaz's form has been key for Blackburn this campaign as they chase automatic promotion. They are second in the championship table right now. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.